So here's the problem with maintenance. Is the maintenance guy was taught by the maintenance guy before him and the maintenance guy before him. The first maintenance guy in any building, when the paint looked rough, he painted over it. He taught that to the next guy, he taught that to the next guy. And anytime anything leaks, we caulk it. So I had to show this situation because it happens all the time and people don't even know because there's so much paint. So this has been painted over and painted over and painted over. This is the inside of a bathroom. And you notice how the outside of the jam, well, still a little rusty, not that bad. So I scraped the loose rust already, but this mess was solid caulking. Now you know it's caulking because it's stained and disgusting. Caulking gets dirty. Now, here's the problem with caulking, is that we just caulk things to stop them from leaking to where we can see it, but that only creates bigger problems. So because the water was filling up this void on the outside of the door and then coming under, and we slathered this side with caulking, but did nothing to stop the water from filling up this void and coming under the door, all the caulking did do was stop the water from having a way to get out. So rather than fix the actual problem, we end up with completely rotted steel. Do we see this? This is completely rusted all the way through steel. Now, at this point, you're looking at something structural and only, not because anybody, didn't care, because when it didn't look right, they painted it. That's what they were taught to do. You can't be mad at someone who does exactly what they're taught to do. Situations like this, if you didn't own the building, you were renting it, it's not your problem. But if you do own the building, then you want to take a little further look around. Have you noticed that the grout is coming up here and the tiles are separating? Right? There's massive amounts of water under this. And because there's massive amounts of water under this, right? This subfloor, or whatever is under these tiles, is soaked. And it's forcing the grout to deteriorate, which is allowing stuff like this to happen, right? Because nobody kicked that. It's like a 3-inch corner. Paint is your best defense against many things. But it is not a defense against a leak of any kind. Just because I'm in a bathroom, we're going to do this real quick. Maintenance personnel are famous for caulking a toilet to the floor, especially if someone calls and says, hey, my toilet's leaking. Here's the problem with that, right? If you see water coming out from here in your toilet, it's probably because the O-ring needs to be changed. They do not last forever. And by O-ring, I mean the beeswax ring that your toilet is sitting on. Now, when you caulk your toilet to the floor, when the O-ring or the wax ring is no longer any good, you have no way of knowing because you can't see the water. So that water is still leaking, it's just now going under the floor, which is causing way more issues, but you don't know it until it's way too late because it looks good. Never caulk a toilet to the floor. So the fix for this, because I'm an Alex, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna sweep that out. We're gonna Bondo with what's missing. Give it back some of that structural integrity. Then we're going to prime it with rust stopper to stop more rust from happening underneath the beautiful paint job it will have on top of it. And then we will put new lacquer on. People buy really expensive top coats like lacquers and epoxies, but the heavier the top coat, the better it looks on the outside, the worse it can be on the inside before you finally notice. This whole dilemma, this whole problem, all this water came from here. And this is just deteriorated seal. That could have been easily fixed rather than slapping the caulking here to stop it from coming into the room where people could see it. We could have sealed the pad back under the door. It would have stopped the water from collecting and would have stopped the whole problem. And instead, that massive amount of water is forcing, well, take a walk, the rest of this up. It's collecting underneath and is forcing the rest of it up. Not to mention allowing bigger problems. This right here, this is a massive, I don't know if you can see all the mouse poop, but mice are getting in there, all sorts of other horrible things that are gonna do damage to your building are getting in there. Just because it's what's always been done doesn't mean it's what needs to be done. That's it. Contracting Mary Poppins out.